Hey everybody, Killer Freak here. Today we're giving you guys a new serious chat session video. In the background I got some Gears of War Judgment gameplay going on. Love the Gears of War games. Judgment's alright. But anyways, today's topic is relationships. But before we dive into that, I wanted to give a shout out to Sojak. I heard he was a pretty big fan, and I really appreciate that. It does mean a lot. So I'm shouting out your name, buddy. Enjoy hearing your name. Your name. No. Okay, so back to relationships. I'm doing this video in lieu, that sounds fancy, I'm not sure that's what it means, of my girlfriend's birthday being tomorrow. And it just kind of got me thinking. So let's start off. First off, I feel like we should define relationships. And there are different qualities of relationships, so it's not fair to call them all relationships. So for example, you have your low end that, dating or going steady, as our grandparents would put it. But the kind of deal with it, I feel, is there's different qualities, and you can't just call them all relationships. So for example, in middle school, right, we go around holding hands and we're dating and we're kissing, and it's weird, guys. It's not real, it's not meaningful. And I don't mean to hurt you if you are in middle school, but I feel like you're young, and I even dated in middle school or whatever, and I kind of look back and I feel dumb for doing it. I wish I hadn't, because I got a lot of bad experiences, and it just left a bad taste in my mouth. And I guess it kind of influenced how I acted throughout high school. And in high school, I did no better, because I took what I learned from the past, and I thought that's how it was supposed to be, and applied it to my current, my current situation where I was at, and it did no better for me. And until I revolutionized the way I thought about relationships, I never ended up in one that would be considered healthy or responsible or okay in a way. And so I guess first off, we gotta address what society says relationships are, as we see through popular media such as TV, movies. We see that it's a girl and a guy, and it's very chauvinistic. The guy has to be chivalrous. I can't say that word. You guys know what I mean. Chivalry. And he sets down his jacket on a puddle so the girl doesn't get her feet wet, and the girl has to have all her doors open. And I feel like that's kind of sexist in a way. The girl can open her own door, guys. Girls are strong. Girls are usually stronger than us. We just don't like to admit it. But maybe not always physically, but girls can handle some stuff, guys. I've learned that through the times. I honestly used to be kind of chauvinistic in a way, and I had this actually lecture and seminar on sexism and society, and there is reverse sexism. Guys definitely can have feministic traits and be abused for it, and that's not right either. I mean, anyone can be however they want. But anyways, back to the topic. I feel like a true meaningful relationship isn't you go out on dates together and you're not buying her big jewelry and you're not opening all the doors for her. You're not kissing her when people are looking. It's what happens when people aren't looking. She should be your best friend. You guys, well, or even, I'm not saying straight. I mean, you can be homosexual, whatever. I think this applies to all relationships. The other person needs to be your best friend. And I'm not saying that means, you're getting kicked out of Walmart, because that's the bomb. Anyone who's ever done that, that's a good time, getting yelled at in Walmart. But I'm saying it's being silly, it's being goofy, and maybe not in public. You don't have to display it in front of people, because I know for one, I struggle with feeling like when I'm out in public, I'm just doing it for appearances. I don't like to kiss in public or anything like that, because I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to show off, and maybe I know I'm not, but it still just feels weird to me. But anyways, my point is this. If they're your best friend, if you can get along, if you can be silly and you don't have to keep up these appearances, I mean, you burp around each other, which is kind of gross, and maybe you shouldn't do it. Just start belching all over. But I mean, if one slips and no one flips out, hey, that's a good start. And my girlfriend and I, we poke jokes at each other. We make fun of each other. We annoy each other. But at the end of the day, we're laughing, we're smiling, and if one steps over a line too far, we'll tell the other and they'll understand and they'll correct themselves. But it's all about kind of that childhood fun. I mean, I feel like the first half, we've been together almost 3 years. In the first half, I feel like it was that very societal expectation of appearances. But this latter half of this second year, we've really grown into that best friend stage where we can pretty much do or say anything around each other and the other one will accept it, and we can just be silly and be ourselves and no one cares. And it's such a beautiful place to be, guys. But on top of that, there's another thing you understand. And I never knew this until my current girlfriend actually told me this. It's that you have to love yourself before you can love others. And at first, I took that on a very basic level. I was like, okay, well, I love myself. Like, I'm the man. I'm a badass. Like, I'm so cool. But no, I really don't feel that way anymore. I'm very humbled now to the point where I don't know. But anyways, you have to learn to be okay alone. And that's a very hard thing because from middle school, I jumped to these quote unquote relationships back and forth. I always had to be with someone. I always depended on someone for happiness. I'm still a very dependent person. And it's taken me to a very bad road in life. I still struggle with independence. I still struggle with being able to do things alone or be myself alone or be alone. But I want you guys to understand something that I've kind of come like to terms with, and it's okay to be alone. I'm not saying be miserable and sad all the time, but if you have a down day, don't flip out and try and fix it. Maybe just embrace it and learn from it and take these bad experiences and kind of enjoy it. And that's you got to figure that out for yourself. It's still really weird for me, and when I say that, people think I'm crazy. I'm not. I swear, guys, I'm not crazy. But until you can learn to be alone, you can't learn to not be alone. I don't know if that makes sense, but you have to learn that it's okay to be alone. You don't always have to be with someone. You don't always have to be happy. You don't always have to be in a relationship. You can be alone. There are people who go their whole lives alone. I mean, look at like the old school Catholic priests, never even touched a girl. And now that sounds kind of perverted, but you know what I mean? They've never even been close to another person, spiritually or sexually. And they all seem to do fine. And I don't want to hear no little boy jokes either, because I know one, and he's a really nice guy. But anyways, and on top of that, you also got to learn, kind of like how to be in a relationship where you can openly talk. Honestly, we've been together 3 years, and she'll probably get mad I say this out loud, but I like to admit it. We fight quite a bit, and we go through phases. There's some nights we'll fight every night of the week. Then there's some where we won't fight for months on end. Everything will be perfect. But here's the thing: as long as it's not an abusive relationship, as long as no one's getting physically or mentally damaged or hurt, fight it out, talk it out, work things through. Because here's the thing: most people give up when there's huge fights. But as long as it's not abusive, and it's not hurting you, work through it. Because if you work through this issue and hopefully it doesn't come to head again, or you guys have come to terms, you won't have to deal with it again. Hopefully it's gone, it's done. And you're so much now, I mean, you're on a higher level than you were before the fight. The fight can only improve you as long as it's not abusive, guys. Don't go through abusive relationships. That's not the point of this. The point is to work through the good ones. Fights can be a great thing if you let it, if you talk through it calmly and you work through it and don't let emotions just take you over. And once you fight through this issue, you'll come to an understanding, and hopefully you'll grow as a relationship and you won't have to deal with that again. And I feel like it can be a very beautiful thing. And I understand not all relationships can work out. And if you have to cut ties, I'm sorry, that sucks. But if it's for the best, it's for the best. At the end of the day, what makes you happy? Your life isn't dependent on some other person. You're not their only source of joy. And if they tell you that, and if they force you to make you feel like you're needed to take care of their lives, that's not healthy. You got to reach out and tell someone else and get them the help they need, because they're not okay. And if you do love them, if you don't, just be, basic humanitarian. Make sure that other person gets the help they need, but don't waste your life being someone else's happiness. Make your life about making you happy. Make your choice of a relationship making you happy. But anyways, guys, that's about it for today. I hope that wasn't too much of a ramble. Again, shout out to Sojak. I appreciate it, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please share with your friends. That helps a lot of people discover the channel. And leave a topic for the next chat, guys. Anyways, I hope you all are doing well, and take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.